Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. My name is Sean Azimi, and I am your ex corporate grinder. Used to work 12, 14, 16-hour days, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. That was normal to me. What sounds amazing is that that was like the norm. You know what I mean? And I did that for many, many years until my pancreas quit, shut down on me, left me unemployable, excuse me, with nothing to fall back on. And I don't know if you've ever hit rock bottom like that, where your health and income gets wiped out. If you do, then you can relate. If you don't, I wish that you would never had something like that. But nonetheless, that sucked. Deborah, how are you? I see you on Instagram. We are live, by the way, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Threads. Let's go. Monterey, what is happening? I see you on TikTok. So now I got redirected to this whole online space, this whole gig economy, if you would. That's why I call you guys gigpreneurs. And I help folks like myself, like you, to start a side gig, and we grow it using social media. So if you're somebody who likes the idea of the flexibility of building a business, like a business online, using your phone, and yeah, if you like that idea, then drop the word side gig in the comments and let's go. And I'll get back with you after this live. And please be prepared to have that conversation. Okay. I'm very, very straightforward. Some people don't really like that. I'll be truthful. But hey, I am like that. So anyway, let's get on with tonight's story. I don't know about you. I used to tell almost everything to everyone. There was a time in my life where I used to just blur and talk to like everybody about everything. Um, and at one point, and I'm not really sure when and how, but at one point, a couple things changed, and then I stopped. Like I stopped sharing a lot of stuff with everybody. There's only a very, very, very selected few that I can count on one hand that would get the inside scoop, if you would. But why is that? Right? Why is that? Now, even though today I'm pretty loud, I speak and I'm transparent with what's going on in my life all the time. I'm straightforward. You guys know I'm a very straight shooter. And here's one thing about that. If you come to me to ask a question about starting a side gig, or you're asking a coaching question or something like that, I I'm not the one to go with the flow. If you're new to my lives, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time, hopefully it won't be your last time. But if you're a vet to my lives, you've heard me say this. I don't go with the flow. The only thing that goes with the flow is a dead fish, and I'm not doing that. So I wouldn't be the one to agree with everybody and kind of just go, oh, I'm gonna think about your situation, what you're asking me, and I'm gonna give you my honest, straight up, transparent answer. And I just do that. Now, I have never put anybody down. That was never my like ever intentions. I'm known for that. That I wouldn't ever do something like that. But I will let you um, know my thoughts and my feedback. Right. Thank you for the follow. I definitely follow back for sure. Henry, what's up? So let me tell you a little story tonight. So these days, what I have I guess that the point where I made the transition where I got to stop telling all my stuff to everybody. Um, One thing that I do say is that I'm very loud. I am loud. I talk. If you get me talking, I talk. If you ask, I'll answer. Um, so I am loud, but at the same time, I'm private. There's a big difference with being loud and being private. So you got to be conscious of where and when and how you're sharing your stories, right? And even though you know that I'm a big fan of stories, I always say stories are meant to be shared, not stored, right? So if you're somebody who's got a few stories and you're not sharing them, you're sitting on them, you're basically sitting on a gold mine. But let's get on with tonight's story. So, there's a cow in a farm that has had a very long day, comes to the barn, boom, collapses, takes a deep breath, and the cat that is in the barn says, "What's going on?" And the cow says, "You know what? I had such a long day. I'm just beat today. I'd love to take tomorrow off and just kind of chill." Well, the cat kind of starts to walk around the barn and comes out and sees the dog and says, "Hey, guess what?" Dog says, "What's up?" It says, "The cow is probably going to quit. He's just too tired and the owner is riding him pretty hard." Dog says, "No way." Dog is walking around and gets to the sheep and says, "Hey, guess what? The cow may not be working tomorrow because apparently he's getting beat up by the owner and he's just not having it. He's just kind of tired, and he thinks other owners are going to treat him much better." The sheep are like, "Oh, okay, all right." And then a few minutes after, the sheep runs into a pig and tells the pig, "Hey, guess what? The cow is gonna bounce. He's getting beat up by the owner. He's not having it here, and he's just gonna leave everything and go, and just never look back ever." Pig is all like, "What? Say what? Okay, um, that's interesting." So later that night, the farmer's boy is in the barn feeding the pig, and guess what? The pig shares the story with the trainer and says, "Hey, listen, the cow is going to leave and is going to take all the other animals with him too. Just as you're beating them, and other owners are going to be much more fair." And the farmer's boy says, "That's pretty interesting, right?" Runs to the dad and says, "Hey, guess what? The cow is going to bounce and it's going to it's going to destroy everything, the barn and everything, and he's going to take everybody with him." And yeah, so the farmer says, "This is not a good idea. So I should just kind of stop the problem before it starts, right?" So he goes to the barn and kills the cow. Says, "You know what? I'm not going to even deal with this. I don't want this whole chaos and other farmers to find out about what I do and how I do things, right?" And so he kills the cow. Now, at the end of the story, if you think about it, what did the cow do? Nothing. He just said he's tired. He's going to take a day off. That's what he really wanted to do. The cow was not guilty of anything. The only thing that he was guilty of, he was sharing his story with the wrong person. What happens is that we have a saying in Farsi, and it says "Yek kalor chel kalor," which means, well, it doesn't really make any sense. It means one crow, 40 crows. But I know that makes no sense. But this, but the meaning of that is this: that when you tell a little bit about your story to somebody, and it's the wrong crowd, and they go tell other people, this is going to trickle down, and by the time it's done, it's not even the original story anymore. Everybody is going to add something to it to make it more interesting, more spicy. It's not going to be the original story when it gets handed down. And so when you start sharing things and talking about things in the wrong crowd with the wrong people, just know that that is gonna not end up the same. And that's one of the major reasons why you should be very selective in where and how you share your stories, right? Or which part of the stories, right? And that's a kind of a tough one because at the same time, there are some stories, like, again, you got to pick and choose your stories, right? And your crowd. There are stories like about my life that I've shared very transparently, and it has motivated some people out there. It's inspired people out there. It moves them on. It gives them confidence. So some of my stories, some of the stuff that I've gone through, and I share, people really get some kind of a value from it, right? And that's how you want to be specific with picking your story and picking your crowd, right? Yeah, everything you say and do will be used against. That's funny. In some cases, that's very accurate. People do use your stories against you. That's pretty true at times. And that's, again, that's the reason why you want to pick your stories and pick your crowd. So even though I tell you every night almost that stories are meant to be shared, not stored. Got to go out there and tell your story. Here's here's the other thing. If you have a survival story, if you have a story that is from rags to riches, or you were sick and you found a way to heal yourself, those stories, imagine if those get um, blown up. And those are the inspirational stories that we hear, right? We see, we hear, we are interested in. So it's not like you want to tell your dark secrets and dark stories and stuff like that to people, but you want to tell stories that uplift others, right? And that it's going to be okay if they get blown up, right? Because those are the kinds of stories that you want going around about you. So again, thank you for all the loves. I appreciate you. Hopefully you guys get some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. And oh, I haven't actually been on social media all day. I haven't posted a single thing. So if you've sent me a message, most likely I have not responded to it. So I will respond tonight and tomorrow. So I'll get back to everybody. Yeah, I just haven't been on social media all day. It's just been a really crazy day. So with that, if you feel like you know somebody who needs to hear this, get value from this like you have, then tag them here, share it with them. Let's go. And if you're not following me, I mean, I don't know why. I'm pretty awesomeness. You can follow me on all platforms if you like. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Threads, you know. And yeah, I go with Side Gig Sean. With that, I am Sean Azimi. I'm somebody who used to work the corporate office call center environment for many, many years, putting in 12, 14, 16-hour days, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And that was norm. That was the normal schedule. And that kind of was wild until my pancreas quit. Said, you know what? If you don't quit, I'm going to quit. I quit. So my pancreas quit, shut down, and left me unemployable. Can't even get a job. So with that, and nothing to fall back on, and that sucked. So if you've ever, hit rock bottom like that, where your health and income both kind of just went away, and then you know how it feels. If you haven't hit like that, then I really pray you don't, because it sucks. And so I got redirected to this whole online space, this whole gig economy, if you would. And what I do, I help folks like you, like me, to start a business, a side gig online, and we grow it using social media. So if that resonates with you, if you like the idea of having an extra income on the side and having the flexibility of plugging it in into like your crazy little world, then drop the word side gig in the comments and I will get back with you after this live. With that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again.